What is going on, guys? My name is Tefty. Welcome to your weekly reset video. It is the 27th of December, and it's also the last week of the Dawning event that Bungie has released, the Winter Festival, where SRL was brought and new exotics were brought, specifically Icebreaker, new in quotations, obviously a year one exotic that's been brought forward. You can now get, we're going to kick things off with the artifacts right away. Let's jump right into it with Tyra. Shabam. Okay, so first things first, Memory of Timur. Melee attacks on minor minions of the darkness have a chance to temporarily turn the target against its allies. It is a very situational type of artifact. I don't think a lot of people rock this. I personally don't, because there's not very many opportunities where I'm like, oh, I should just melee this Drake and then have that Drake go around killing stuff. In fact, sometimes my melee automatically kills them. So yeah, it's a little on the weak side. The roll is in like the low 90 percentile, 71 up to 114 right there. So the roll isn't terrible. It's also not like, it's not a 98 or above type of roll. Next up, we got Memory of Radagast. Gain the ability to reflect energy-based projectiles when guarding with a sword, and also increase sword ammo is capacity, or increase sword ammo capacity as well. The roll on this as well is not, it's not terrible, but it's also not top tier either. I think it's in the 90, anywhere from 92 to 94% bracket right there. So again, nothing 98, no 98% or 100% god roll type of stuff. And again, it's discipline strength, and the focus is on strength right there. So it's going to be situational again. For me, Memory of Radagast is a great alternative if you don't want to rock Yolder's, Memory of Yolder. You can get, I think it's 88 in the sword if you don't have the extra perks for sword ammo. So it's, I could be wrong in that number, but it is really good for getting that extra sword ammo if you're doing raids or doing strikes that have a particular burn on them. You want to use your sword a lot, because that's actually a lot of fun. I was doing that last week with the Dark Drinker and just having a blast of doing strikes using the Dark Drinker in places that I normally would not. So Memory of Radagast gives you a lot more mileage with your sword ammo. And keep in mind, if you want to get the extra ammo for your sword, you do have to actually have it out, equipped, like actually holstered at the moment, or not holstered, but out, non-holstered. Because if you pick up heavy ammo while it's holstered or put away, it caps at the 66 or 68 ceiling that swords typically have. So keep that in mind. It is not, I mean, it is bugged, I believe, but that's how the way around the bug is that you actually have your sword out and get that ammo. Finally, we got Memory of Gellion. Grants a detailed radar. Radar persists when sighting with primary weapons. It's actually a really good artifact if you enjoy using the radar, regardless of whether or not you're ADSing or not. So some people might find this very valuable, other people not so much, depending on how much you rely on the radar. And it, yeah, it's a good artifact. The roll is not terrible. It's also not fantastic either. In fact, all these rolls across the board are not terrible, but not fantastic. 68, I believe, is around the 90% bractile as well. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I am 100% wrong on that stuff. So no god rolls this week for artifacts. Unfortunately, I do kind of wait each week to see if there's going to be something really worth picking up. And so far, that's not the case, sadly. Let's take a look at the bounties with Shiro. This week, he has got Pull the Plug, kill Fallen Majors and Ultras, easily done in Archon's Forge. Archon's Forge Dregs, just complete Dreg encounters in Archon's Forge. Archon's Forge Captains, complete Captain encounters in Archon's Forge. And then Archon's Forge Servitor, so Dreg, Captains, and Servitors in the Archon's Forge, along with killing Majors. If you are doing Archon's Forge and getting all these done, then you will easily be able to get that done. Probably within one session, I would say. Looking at the class items, we've got, for the Hunter, a pretty bad roll for Mantle of Perun. And then Silimar's Iron Sash. For the Titan, it has a, it's almost a good roll, but not quite there. It's really close. And then Fellwinter's Iron Bond is another really bad roll. 32 right there for the Warlock. So both the Hunter and the Warlock have bad rolls. And it's Fellwinter's Iron Bond for the Warlock this week. Let's jump into orbit and take a look at the Nightfall strikes, or the strike for the Nightfall, the Heroic strikes, and the Crucible playlist. This week is Omnigul, guys. The redone Omnigul strike, and let's have a look at these modifiers. Exposure, Guardian shields are increased but do not replenish, so you'll have a lot more. You'll be able to absorb a lot of damage, but your shield will not come back. So as soon as you've absorbed that damage, it's going to take a long time for it to come back, or if you die and then respawn, you'll have it back. But it gives you a false sense of security because you take damage, you're like, ah, there's no problem. And then suddenly you can't take any damage because you're dead all the time or you have no shield. Catapult, grenade recharge rate is greatly increased. So your grenades come back pretty fast, honestly. You throw a grenade and you don't realize your grenade is back that quickly. So keep that in mind when doing that. And then Juggler, no ammo drops for your equipped weapon. And then finally, Void Burn. Void damage from any source is greatly increased. This is going to be a relative pain when going up against those ogres that show up in like phase 2 or 3 with Omnigul, because now she summons just random ogres that suddenly show up. And they're not random, but you suddenly have ogres that you have to deal with in that small room. That is going to be annoying. Just saying on there. Make sure to equip Void Heavy and Void Special. There's unfortunately no Void primary alternative right now, like Xala Supercell. So you're going to be out of luck on that one. So for primary stuff, I would just use some sort of legendary variety so you don't take up a Void exotic. Because you could possibly use Dark Drinker. Dark Drinker is a possibility, Telesto is a possibility, stuff like that. So that's what I'd recommend on there. Should be an interesting Nightfall this week, definitely. For the Heroic Strikes, we have Ironclad, more enemies have shields, just more shielded enemies in general. Brawler, Guardian melee damage is greatly increased. This is always fun, coupled with a sword, and it is Solar Burn this week. So if you have the Gala Sword, as I like to call it, the Solar Exotic Sword, then you can get a lot of damage with Brawler combined with solar damage on that. That is going to be a lot of fun. That's something that I definitely enjoy doing. All the Siva strikes, unfortunately, going to be a pain with Solar Burn because Siva sourced damage is typically solar. But something to keep in mind also is that Firefly and explosive rounds are solar-based damage. So the initial bullet itself is not solar, but the explosion from Firefly and also from explosive rounds count as solar damage. So any kind of primary that has that type of stuff, make sure you equip that, and that's going to be really powerful for doing strikes this week. The Crucible playlist this week, Inferno Supremacy, and then we have Salvage. So Salvage and Inferno Supremacy. So most likely Supremacy is going to be the bounty for Shaxx this week. Let's actually take a look at the challenge modes this week. So King's Fall, we've got the War Priest. That's the challenge this week for that raid. And then for Wrath of the Machine, we have Vosik. Vosik is the challenge this week. All right, let's jump in the tower and take a look at some bounties. Back in the tower where it's all decorated. Once again, the Dawning free DLC is going to end after this week, and all these decorations are going to go away. So keep that in mind if you want to have some final time this week looking at all these wintry decorations. All right, looking at Shaxx. Like I said, most likely Supremacy. Let's just confirm real quick. Yup, Supremacy. Complete 7 matches, get primary kills, get kill credits, deny crests and all that. You'll be good to go to get that reward. Potentially get something good. Maybe some sort of palindrome that you really like. If you've been looking for an alternate palindrome from the vendor one. This week for the Bounty Strike Elite, so just get all of the gold tier, bronze tier stuff, all that. 9 times, you're good to go on that. And then complete Siva Strikes, Siva Crisis Strikes without any member of your fire team dying to earn flawless medals. That one could be a little difficult if you're solo queuing. Definitely might want to LFG that if you're specifically trying to get that bounty done. And then again, Sunrise Bounty, in case you guys do not know, this is the only place that you can get the Icebreaker to drop. It is a low chance random drop of an exotic that comes out of this bounty specifically. You just have to do the Nightfall before the timer. You have to earn gold and do the Nightfall before the timer expires. I believe it's typically 30 minutes. So you have 30 minutes to achieve a gold medal and get the Nightfall done. If you wipe, your timer is not reset. It keeps on going. So you have to get that stuff done before 30 minutes is done for a complete run. And then you will complete that bounty and then have a low chance of getting the Icebreaker. If it's not the Icebreaker, it's basically like a Nightfall drop that comes out of there, which is nice. It's nice to have extra Nightfall drops. This week, Eris Morn is taking Wormspore for her reputation. Future War Cult is also taking Wormspore for her reputation. Dead Orbit is taking Relic Iron for his reputation, and New Monarchy is taking Spirit Bloom for his reputation as well. Let's have a look at the speaker's class items. So this week we've got Legend of Six Coyotes with a pretty good roll. That's not bad. Cloudwalker Tribute with a average roll. And then we have Thalor's Golden Maul with a good roll for Discipline. It's not bad. Deepstone Crypt with a pretty meh roll, honestly. It's average at best. And then Spirit of the Vulture with a good roll. This is definitely a good roll. It is Discipline and Strength though. And then Seal of the Twin Eagle with a pretty decent roll as well with Intellect and Strength on that. That is what's going on in the tower this week. Let's jump on over to the Reef and have a look at those bounties. Back in the Reef, just to point out, Petra, her bounties are now daily. They refresh daily. So if you want to get some Queen's Rep, do those bounties. You have daily chances now of getting that reputation, which is great. Heavy ammo? Yes, he gave me heavy ammo. Let's go. So Varix this week, kill champions in level 41 Prison Elders or Challenge. So just kill the champions, the bosses essentially. Light Show, generate orbs in level 41 or Challenge of Elders. That's pretty easy. Get supers, do those orbs, you're good to go. And then kill them back, kill enemies in level 41 or Challenge of Elders. Either one, you were good to go. So kill champions, make super orb or generate orbs for super energy, and then just kill enemies in general. You'll get those done in no time. Really easily done this week. For the Hunter this week, we've got nothing. The King's Mantle is a decent roll. It's not bad, but nothing that's sticking out. Devil's Disguise bad, and so is Kel's Cloak. Bad roll on that. That is what's happening in the tower. Let's jump over to Challenge of Elders and see what the modifiers are. And finally, this week for Challenge of Elders, we have Small Arms. Primary damage is favored. Always fun with Small Arms. And then Grenade Kill bonus, more points for grenade kills. And then finally, Airborne. Players deal more damage while in air, specifically double damage. So if you jump and get shots with your primary, you're gonna deal double the already boosted damage from your primary weapons, which is I think it's fun, honestly. I think it's good. That is it for the weekly reset video, guys. I streamed a solid 9 hours prior to this. I was doing the Permadead Sea Challenge as well. Had some bad luck, I will say. And then I started doing some Skyrim, which I've never played Skyrim before, so it was a lot of fun jumping into that with a special remastered version and really getting to experience it for the first time and take my time. Like, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Sub to the channel if you want more content. Follow me on twitter.com/Teft to know when I go live on twitch.tv/TeftyTeft, because I am a full-time streamer. You guys are amazing. I love you all. I'll see you next time for another video. Deuces.